Thank you for staying with us. We still have with us our fellows from Nigeria as well as from Egypt and Uganda. But let me go back to Egypt, where I have Rwan Taha speaking with us, as well as in Uganda, where we have Fiona Nabukenya. Fiona, let me ask you now, what will you be using your experience for? I mean, after all that you've learned, how are you going to be putting back? Which particular societal ill will you be using, or have you identified that you want to use your skill to solve?
Thank you very much, Victor. Actually, that's a very good question because at the end of every training, you must evaluate yourself and you must know, okay, with all this I learned, how do I benefit people? For me, I think I learned so much. Also, the fact that I had a full day spent with the president, His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He spent the whole day with the youths from 10 a.m. to midnight. Victor, I have never seen this in my whole life, where the matter is youth. And I realized that after seeing this huge innovation by the president and how he involves the Egyptian youths, it's the same thing for me I would want to advocate for. I feel like everything we're going to do, also in Uganda, we need to include the youths. We need to have them on the forward. We need to have them run with us. So much we've had the elderly taking on the positions, but it's high time we include the youths as early as possible, because if we don't include them, then we are missing out. The brain drain is increasing and all these things. Back to the question, how am I going to use what I have learned? I think for me, what I look into and what interests me is to see how to work with the government or non-parastatals and to see how we train these youths, and with the knowledge we have, how would we involve them with the skills they have, with the knowledge they have. We have CEOs at a young age, but the businesses can't go forward because they are hindered by management, emotional intelligence, negotiation skills, and all this was a package received while being trained at the National Training Academy. So for me, I want to work back on the grassroots, university level, community-based, but with inclusion of youth mostly, to see their programs, to see their ambitions being realized at a young age.
All right, very well. Rowan, for you, have you identified anything that you also want to, channel your skill and that you have learned, as well as the collaborative efforts with others? Is there anything that you have, maybe an African, ill now, not just down to Egypt alone? Is there any problem you have identified that you are going to collaborate with others to make sure that you solve?
I mean, like
quickly.
Yes, I mean, prior to the program, I was only thinking of health, but now after the leadership program, I'm now incorporating peace and leadership in all my thoughts. Like, I'm incorporating reconstruction in all my thoughts, because I believe regardless of what your profession is, you can contribute to making Africa a more peaceful and prosperous and developed continent. So now I'm doing that through my own work. I've been working remotely with an organization in the US so that I could mentor other health professionals to get into the public health space, so that they could use their own skills to prevent diseases, and that they could use the health solutions they develop and foster to create peace between different countries. So that, for example, if a country comes up with a new vaccine, they could share it with other countries, and through that there could be health diplomacy, and peace could be prospered in one way or the other. So that was my takeaway from the program.
All right, great. I have to say thank you for joining us today, and sharing your thoughts with us, especially your experience from the leadership program. Hopefully more people will come on board for the next cohort and, of course, subsequently. But I have to say thank you to you, Fiona Nabukenya from Kampala in Uganda, as well as Rawan Taha from Cairo in Egypt. Thanks again for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for hosting us.
You're welcome. All right, so just quickly, what would be your advice to those who are applying, in just a few words?
My advice for them
what should they put in the application?
Is to be focused and try to put all what they have been doing but in their various community in the application, so that people will know what they have been doing during the application process.
Great. What about you? What would you advise those applying to?
For those applying for African Presidential Leadership Program, most importantly, your work must be authentic and verifiable. Because if it's not, you wouldn't even make it to the interview phase of the program. And if you're finally selected for APLP, when you get to the National Training Academy, try as much as possible to be focused. Because the the hospitality and the treatment is so appealing, and
imagine.
you can get lost in it.
Oh, well, very well.
So try to be focused,
yeah, so,
and outline your priorities.
All right, so I have to say I wish you guys the best, in your work that you're doing. I mean, we hope to see you guys, doing more than you have done, and of course, inspiring more other young people to also aspire to get to where you guys are. But I have to say thank you for joining us, Karim Abdurazak, fellow from Nigeria, Rose Okafo. Thanks as well for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Please stay with us. We'll be back with the movie videos on our YouTube channel in the past week.
This week's most viewed video begins with retaliations to xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Video shows lootings and destruction at a Lagos mall.
We didn't come to the shop on Sunday because I was scared. You see, even my fellow colleagues, they never come to the shop. Then on Monday, we come here. We see that all is damaged. They burned the shop on Sunday. Then in the afternoon again, on Sunday, they went upstairs again and put it on. Put another fire again. To see how heartless somebody is. There's no brotherly whole love there.
Coming in fourth is the video where Nigerians affected by South Africa's xenophobic attacks lament losses.
The situation is very bad. You can see the whole shop everywhere. They have really burned it in their loot.
On Monday, before I reached here, nothing. Everything was burned. In Julie's by Marvel, nothing there. I can't take pain inside my shop.
In third place, Nigeria police stopped protesters from attacking ShopRite in Abuja.
What has happened in South Africa is totally unacceptable. We will not accept it. And as I said earlier, enough is enough. And we're not going to come back to this. We're going to have to address it once and for all this time. So this is a position of the government that we're going to draw a red line here.
In second place is the video where Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema talks tough on xenophobic attacks in South Africa.
The information that we have from the High Commission and the Consul General in South Africa is that no Nigerian life has been lost during these crises. And I think that's very important because on social media, there's a lot of stories going around, Nigerians being killed, jumping off buildings, and being burnt. This is not the case.
Over the past 1 year, virtually every other week, Nigerians are being wasted in one part of South Africa or the other. And we know that the government has had conversation with the South African authorities, drawing their attention to these and other abuses to which Nigerians have been subjected to. But the escalation in attack on foreigners, which include many of whom are Nigerians, have reached a level that is no longer tolerable.
Coming in first is the video of APC party chairman Adams Oshiomhole urging the federal government to nationalize South African companies in Nigeria.
But I think in moments like this, and in order to send a very strong message to South African authorities and South African people, it is worth it for Nigeria government to take steps to take over the remaining shares of MTN that are owned by South Africans, so that MTN become fully Nigeria-owned.
And there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. And also, that's where we wrap the show up this time around. Also, thank you so very much for watching. But don't forget, the conversation doesn't end here. It continues via the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you once again for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now.